Hello everyone, this is Marcelo. Welcome to this session, the first of many. Okay, I've just started recording. I hope it's working. I don't think Professor is going to be joining this online voice chat, but he will be present on the faculty board. So if the question that we have, we will post them there and he will answer right away.
Okay.
Okay, basically, the aim of this session is to have a review on organizational behavior, how to relate these 21 concepts that the professor has defined for the course. Have all of you an understanding of what I mean with the 21 concepts?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So you can find them on the first page. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
on the website you can see this applies for every course. You go to the course home, and in the introduction you have a link or a section for the profiler, and in the profiler you will see a drawing with the main concepts for every course. So this will serve as a guide for studying. It's quite good actually. Okay, so we have these 21 concepts. We have them numbered, but they are not like a sequence. They are interrelated. And as I understand, the main purpose of all this is to increase competitive advantage. That's why we should be able to link each of these processes amongst them and together with competitive advantage, because that's the goal. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yes.
So I would say, we will start with the first concept, which is employee personality and needs satisfaction at work. I have mapped these concepts to the modules and to the different sections of the modules. This is just my understanding of how this works. If you have any comments, just correct me. I'm showing, I don't know if you all can see my screen. There's an Excel file with that information. Basically,
On your screen.
is it too small?
I can see your screen, but it's just showing the message board.
Okay, basically what I'm showing is an Excel file which is trying to relate the first concept with the part of the module where it is treated. And we have some questions. So what are we talking about when we are talking about employee personality and needs satisfaction at work? So for this concept,
I don't know if anybody is having the
Sorry?
same problem. Is anybody? Can anybody hear? I lost kind of. I couldn't hear anybody there.
Yeah, I lost connection there as well.
Yeah. Marcel, could you just repeat the last maybe 2 sentences, 3 sentences?
It said it's going to.
Oh, okay, we are back again.
Oh, okay.
Great. Okay, so I was saying when we are talking about employee personality and needs satisfaction at work, what do we mean by that? What if you had to explain that to a 5-year-old? What would you say? What is involved there? I don't know if anyone can tell me.
Okay, I'll give it a go.
All right.
So I think there's a bunch of traits and of an individual that affects the way that they are when they're in the work situation. And there's a collection of needs that you acquire over because of experiences in your life or whatever reason that will also affect your attitude to work. And these are need for achievement, need for affiliation, and need for power. And the power one comes in two forms: personalised and socialised. Socialised, is that right?
Sorry, what does that mean?
Need for power? Is that the question?
Yeah, when you say this socialized and the other one, what do you mean by that? Can you explain me without using the same words of the text?
Yeah. Okay. Personalized power is actually when you're after power, you have a need for power, and it manifests, I guess, in the way that, let me put it in better terms, that you want to put other people down, I guess, in order to get that power, that need power. Whereas a socialized form of power means that you actually want to get things done through other people and in collaboration with other people. Maybe someone can explain that better.
Does everybody agree on that? Does anyone wants to add something?
No, I agree with that. One question, just what are all the traits in that we're talking about? Is it locus of control and introversion, extroversion, things like that?
Yeah, I think that's what it means.
Okay.
And Machiavellian personality.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so basically this first
The
concept.
only question I got in there was years.
Yep. Go ahead.
I was just going to mention that the years in their job, would that come into that section as well?
Yeah, that part refers to all of the determinants of job satisfaction.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
I thought I'd lost. Is Marcelo gone again?
It looks like who's still on this call?
Yeah. Can anyone else see the spreadsheet he's going on about, the Excel spreadsheet? All I can see is...
No, I think it's stuck to the first thing that he brought up.
Yeah.
Is it the spreadsheet with the 21 columns? text that we were supposed to have used in preparation for this conference call?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
I have
But
sent
he's
this.
not showing it.
I have sent this before, but I can share it afterwards anyway. So basically, the idea of this is just to have a guideline of the 21 concepts and which subjects should be included. We are in the first one, and the employee personality and satisfaction at work. In that concept, we should be talking about the different kinds of personalities, and also mention the theories, the X and the Y theory, and how these are influenced by this SOBC model. And basically this is like an introductory model of how this interaction between the people and the organization works. So tied to this first concept, you will find all the others. Of course, this is quite tightly connected to the satisfaction and to the motivation and all the other things that we are going to see next. So if we move forward to the second concept, which is the determinants and consequences of employees' work attitudes. There in the textbook we see that is mentioned that we talk about the consequences of the organizational commitment for the employees in the organization, and also the consequences of job involvement. So what does that mean? Can anyone tell me something about these determinants and consequences of employee work attitudes? Or do you have any question about this so we can involve the professor?
I have no questions. I think they're just two key work attitudes, I believe. I have no questions on that.
Yeah, likewise, I have no questions. I mean, that's the one that's around the determinants, the years and the career. So generally, earlier on in the career, you tend to have high expectations, and it's also linked with expectations. And it's 5 facets of job satisfaction: work itself, co-workers, supervisors, pay, promotions, and then the other determinants is from the organisational point of view. To give the organisation a competitive advantage, the job satisfaction, the support, sustain, competitive advantage to your supervisor, job challenge, job clarity, which includes feedback, obviously, informal, conformal, on a regular basis, and incentives.
Okay, so we can relate this concept to the motivation theories, and also to the performance assessment.
How can you relate them to performance assessment?
Okay, you as an organization, you have to be able to see what's happening and how the people in your organization is feeling, and let's remember that the aim of this is to have a competitive advantage. We go always to that point. If you can see my screen, I have a competitive advantage here in my friend Wikipedia. So the basic definition, you can see it here, is a strategic advantage one business entity has over its rival within the competitive industry. I don't know if any of you took the course of marketing before?
No.
Yes, I did.
Okay. So somewhere there it is mentioned this concept, and you have this was proposed by Michael Porter. the idea is to have to pursue policies and create high quality products and services, not only talking about natural resources and basic industry. So the main goal for the organization is to create this competitive advantage, and you do that by changing the way you are behaving right now and changing the organization, which that thing you can see it in the last part of the book, all the change model and all that. So in order to create that change or to plan that change and that strategy, you need to be measuring things. That's where the performance assessment comes into.
Okay, and is that regarding performance appraisal then you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, this is my understanding. Please correct me if I'm saying anything that is not correct.
Well, I would say also within that it's adding in the actual, the job satisfaction measurement, so that you can gauge as to, like a temperature check for your employees, you can gauge how if they are happy in the work and they're satisfied and fulfilled in their jobs.
Yeah,
and it probably links.
Okay, so
I was just going to say it.
I was
yeah, keep going on. I was probably going to. I was just going to say that you could probably link that also into if you have the job satisfaction or you have these indicators, it also means that you can use employee participation and empowerment more, which is a concept further down.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm showing in my screen all the concepts in the diagram that is shown in the website for the course. So we have already talked about the employee personality and need satisfaction. This just as an introduction. And then the number 2, the determinants and consequences of employees' work attitudes. And this we can link together with understanding the motivation theories, that we can talk about that in more detail. We can link that to the behavior modification methods, and also the use of self-directed teams and empowerment, because all these things needs to be implemented some way. So this cannot be like an order the CEO gives to the employees, just be happy. We have to create some mechanism, and a good way of doing that could be using groups or using these self-directed teams and give the employees empowerment. So if we go back to this list that I have here, we see that one other factor that has to be taken into consideration is stress. This is a very negative force in the organization, and you have to do things against it. So you need to have an understanding of what stress is, what are the causes, and how you can identify it when it's happening, and what you can do right away in order to diminish the effect that it's having. So can anyone tell me something else about this, or how this will come into play with all the change that we need to create in the organization? Hello? Anyone?
I don't want to hog the time, so if somebody else wants to speak, I can speak to it. But
Okay, I guess you will have to speak again.
okay, sorry. So I think there's a number of factors that create job stress, or stressors that create job stress. One of the big ones is job insecurity, and I think it ties in well with the other key concept, which is stress effects of downsizing and delayering. So if you need to downsize in your organisation, then you're going to create lots of factors that impact job stress in the work environment. But I think they can come from individual job stresses, which can be things like out of the workplace, like financial or family problems, but they can also come from inside the workplace. Stress from job insecurity I mentioned. I'm just trying to think of some others. So maybe somebody can mention some others, organisational factors on job stress.
Okay. Good. So.
Yeah, I mean, you've got like organizational stress factors include things like role overload, basically having to report to multiple managers, task overload, like working to pressures, not having sufficient resources, even things like later on in the book we cover things like the organizational life cycle theory. So each stage provides different stresses as well.
Supervisors or managers, maybe the personal effects and things.
I missed that, sorry? Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Marcelo, are you still there? Yeah?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
So hold on just a second. I will see if we can improve the quality of the audio. I will mute all the microphones, and you just say in the chat when you want to say something, and I will unmute that one.
Okay.
Okay, there you are.
Hi, sorry, can you hear me, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Right, so we were talking about stressors. So there are environmental stressors, organizational stressors, and individual stressors. Environmental ones are like economic uncertainty. Organizational ones can range from role overload, task overload, organizational life cycle, what stage of life cycle the organization's in, can also produce stressors. And individual stressors are things like family pressures and financial worries. And then from these stressors, then there's also obviously consequences of the stressors. So you can have psychological consequences, physiological consequences, and also behavioural consequences. And obviously, a happy workforce is going to be probably more productive and less likely to be absent from work. Therefore, indirect labour or indirect overhead costs should be lower, and all this and be better performers as well, more likely to participate. So all of this then will contribute to your firm's competitive advantage.
Okay.
Hi, yes, I was just going to add about the individual approaches that can take towards mental stress. So, for example, exercise. And I know sometimes some organisations, they tend to do discounts with local leisure facilities. I know my previous work they did with a local leisure centre. And also relaxation and diet. And again, to talk about my previous work, we were starting to talk about different ways that you can, affect your lifestyle and your health and your diet, and you actively promoted different meals and such that you could prepare. And also the other thing is a build-up of stress resistance to help improve health. And then also the organisational programme, wellness and job stress management, which is around rewarding performance and productivity. So encouraging colleagues to embrace their jobs and increase productivity for the organisation. And also live by your values and encourage others to live by theirs, which obviously is driven from the CEO down, so from top down as well as bottom up to the values, and build respect based on trust. The other bits important to add.
Hi there, guys. I sent a wee quick message out there, just conscious of time. I think we're only in the second concept. Should we maybe try and structure this some way?
Yeah, I think yeah, you're right. We should move faster because we have covered 1, 2, 3, 4 concepts, and we have been half an hour here, so we should move a little bit faster, dedicating no more than 5 minutes per concept, so we can have time for more examples and for questions that we can send to Professor. Okay, so going back to the diagram where we can see how these things relate, we have already talked about the employee personality and its satisfaction, the consequences and the determinants of how these employees behave. We briefly mentioned the performance assessment and control. We can go back to there. We also talked about the stress effects, and we didn't talk about downsizing and delayering in detail. I don't know if is there anything else that you want to add about that?
I think the main point is really just that downsizing, periods of downsizing do create stressors on the employees. Obviously the employees that are getting laid off and also the employees that are left behind. That would be my only real point. I'm not sure if anybody's anything else to add.
So, well, okay, okay, the downsizing effect is quite clear because the guy is going to get fired and of course he gets stressed. But what about the delayering? Well, that's like a more subtle effect. Can someone explain something more about that?
About what, sorry?
The layering of the organisation.
Oh, right.
Layering means more job responsibility and more stress and less pay. So that's makes it overall more stress.
I couldn't actually hear that speaker, sorry.
Oh, we didn't hear that.
I didn't hear either.
Is the question regarding delayering, is it actually what stressors does it cause, or what exactly is it we're trying to discuss here?
Yeah,
Yes.
what stress does it cause?
Yes, basically that. If someone can give a quick example or a quick case where this effect will be shown.
Okay, well, I'll have a stab at it.